I thought the dumbest thing Jim Irsay could do as an owner was hire Jim Irsay as the head coach for the Indianapolis Colts. A guy who's never had any head coaching experience whatsoever. An analyst at that. Picking him up right off a broadcasting booth and putting him as the head coach for an NFL team. I didn't think he could become any more stupider than that. Now you're currently talking to a situation for a player who's currently entered a contract year. A player who's quite possibly one of your best offensive players right now. And speaking on the current situation that's affecting him right now and a one that's going to affect him in a negative way. So I'm going to do my best to reword this. I'm not going to say word for word what Jim Irsay said, but I'm basically going to, sum it up in a few words. So Jim Irsay tweeted out a couple of days ago that basically running backs calling for a negotiation of pay is inappropriate according to him for some reason. Like I said, Jonathan Taylor right now is entering his final year of his rookie deal, and Irsay decided to tweet this out while he's going through that process. To make matters worse, Irsay would publicly come out and say that he had not publicly started negotiations with Jonathan Taylor yet. And here's the thing, putting that out in public is already bad enough, but that's also making it seem like that you don't care about your running back right now and you don't want to pay him. At least with the Saquon and the Josh Jacobs situations, it seems like they were close to a deal, but the money was not near good enough. But with Jonathan Taylor, it seems like Irsay is not even close or hasn't even offered him a deal quite yet, which is bonkers right now. Make matters worse, Jonathan Taylor's agent would also chime in on this. He tweeted out, "Bad faith is not paying your top offensive player, which is going to cause a lot of mess for the Colts and Jonathan Taylor at this point." Regarding one of the tweets, Ian Rappaport would say, "Hope this relationship can be fixed." Jonathan Taylor's once again, the agent would say, "I doubt it." Next thing you know, boom, Jonathan Taylor has officially requested a trade. Now, according to reports, Jonathan Taylor been requested a trade from the Indianapolis Colts. Whether or not this is true, this is still a really bad situation for the Indianapolis Colts. Now, obviously, like any old GM, Jim Irsay would say that we're not trading him. Like, obviously, that's what they're going to say because 90% of the time, a GM is not going to put it out there publicly that we're going to trade this player. They're always going to say we're either not going to trade him or something like that. They're not going to put it out there publicly if they're going to trade a player. Like, take example when Joe Shane was asking about Kadarius Toney. At the time, he said we're not trading Kadarius Toney. A couple months later, he traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said, they're not ever going to put out there publicly if they're going to trade a player. But yeah, Jim Irsay, like he said, I don't care how you feel about the running back position. Putting that tweet out there is something you should not be doing. When it comes to things like this, I feel like an owner and GM should remain neutral on the situation and not really have an opinion on it necessarily, in my opinion. Here's the thing, speaking on things like this and having an opinion on it that's different from the players is going to cause a lot of things. Obviously, it's going to cause tension between you and that certain player. It's going to cause relationships to change. And sometimes, depending on what you said, it can't be fixed. And according to Jonathan Taylor's agent, this looks like something that can't be fixed. Whether Colts fans want to admit this or not, they need Jonathan Taylor more than ever right now. They're going to have a rookie quarterback coming into the fold. He's going to need some pressure taken off him by not passing the ball way too much. And Jonathan Taylor is that guy who can do that right now. Jim Irsay is doing a lot of things right now by making that tweet. For one, he's hurting his team. And number two, he is currently going to hurt the production of his rookie quarterback. And number three, he is currently going to hurt his growth in the meantime. And I know what some of you are thinking. Jonathan Taylor being gone would mean AR5 getting more snaps, right? Well, yeah. And you would think that would help his growth, right? Yes and no. Yes, it will help his growth, but at the same time, he needs some pressure taken off him as a rookie quarterback. Rookie quarterbacks do not need a lot of pressure being on them the first time they get in the league. Now, obviously, the pressure is going to come regardless as the season goes on, but they don't need that kind of pressure immediately, like week one start of the season, the first few weeks of the season at least. Yes. You have a freedom of speech. I know that's what you are thinking, but Jim Irsay in this situation should just kept quiet and not said a thing whatsoever. Right now, running backs are already feeling like they're unappreciated and they feel like they are worthless to a lot of NFL GMs and teams nowadays because this whole market thing. And Jim Irsay tweeting that out right now is not going to make Jonathan Taylor feel better or any running back at all probably feel that much better. Thing I have to ask with Jonathan Taylor requesting a trade, how exactly does a team go about that? Because running backs are not exactly a position that's easily tradable for a lot of teams nowadays. What exactly does a team give up? What exactly does that team who's trading the running back also give up in order to trade to the other team? And what exactly what they want in the process? Because obviously, I don't think they're going to get a first round pick, maybe not even a second round pick. So all that is going to be a hard situation for those teams to deal with. Taylor, in my opinion, is still a top 5, top 6 running back in my opinion. He's somewhere around that range, whether you like it or not. However, like I said, with running backs nowadays being as replaceable as everybody says they are, will a team be able to, be able to give up a lot of draft, compensation for him, or even a player at that? We don't know. Then when you trade for that player, you get that player on your team. You have to worry about this now. What kind of contract does this player want? Do you even extend him long term in the first place? What kind of money do you want? You have to immediately worry about when exactly are you going to extend this player, especially if it's a player that's considered top level at their position. Right now, the situation for Jonathan Taylor right now isn't exactly good for him, if I'm being honest. Obviously, Jim Irsay screwed himself over right now by basically pissing off his top offensive player. However, Jonathan Taylor has to realize he almost has no leverage in this situation whatsoever. Honestly, I think they're going to work things out. Honestly, like I said, Jonathan Taylor's going to work things out with the Colts. Irsay is going to talk it over. They need to have a long talk, which they are. And I think they're going to work things out, in my opinion. Right now, Jonathan Taylor's in a situation where he feels frustrated at the running back position, and he is pissed, as he should be. But I think this will all eventually blow over after a while, in my opinion. I'm not going to sit here and say everybody in this situation is innocent, because by all means, nobody in that situation is completely innocent. JT, his agents right now are making comments like this and kind of screwing him over. His agents, like I said, making all these comments and kind of mess up everything in the process right now. Jim Irsay, as I said, tweeting things like this during this situation is not a good idea. Like, what was he thinking? But honestly, this is going to be a long off season. It's going to be a long NFL season. So, like I said, I assume things will change in the next coming weeks. And time will tell what exactly will happen. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up here. This NFL offseason has been wild. It's been one of the wildest offseasons yet, in my opinion. But anyways, I am out. If you haven't yet, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and tap the bell icon for future football content. And I will hope to see you guys in the next video. If you haven't yet, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. All that will be down below in the description. And I will hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace out.